Okay, hi, this is Felix and Terry, and today we're going to be presenting on comparing effectiveness of relaxation methods for warm starting trajectory optimization for soft contact. So planning through contact is a very hard problem, and this is basically because of the single nature of contact that the forces are non-zero if and only if two objects are in contact. So the literature is really stuck right now because we have to make a difficult trade-off. We can either try to make approximations to physics, which yield very easy classes of optimization problems, but that don't really respect this fundamental nature of contact. Or we can directly try to model the physics, but often end up with very hard optimization problems. And we thought about how to break through this impasse, and the best way we thought was to combine the benefits of two methods by warm starting a direct method with an indirect method. So for an indirect method, we consider the smooth regularized contact by smoothing out the soft contact with the soft plus model. And it's a complex inequality constraint in practice very easy to solve. On the other hand, most literature on LCP tries to do iterative relaxations through bilinear inequality constraints, but these constraints tend to be really hard to solve because they're non-convex. And we were not completely sure if there are theoretical guarantees on whether they truly converge to a strict LCP case.
For direct methods, we consider strict LCP and single shooting SGD. For strict LCP, we use this complementarity constraint to model the contact, and then we optimize states as well as inputs to minimize costs subject to dynamics and contact constraints. For single shooting SGD, we model the contact with the ReLU, where K is the spring constant. And then we forward integrate with this fixed dynamics model that we know. And then we optimize the variable inputs to minimize cost with gradient descent. We consider the two methods on this toy problem, where we can directly control the card on the left and the card on the right, denoted as the blue and red card. And then trying to figure out a sequence of input actions that let the two cards bounce into the middle card and stabilize it at a goal location.
So we will first show videos of what happens when you try different relaxation schemes and use that as an initial guess to the strict LCP solver. So if you don't do any warm start, this is what you get. It's a very jerky trajectory. It does a lot of unnecessary motion. Unfortunately, we don't have the video for the case where we do bilinear relaxation and then feed that as initial guess to strict LCP. But actually, when we did this, we yielded a higher cost than just doing it without the warm start. And the compute time was 40 minutes, which is very painful to wait. When we warm started strict LCP with soft plus direct collocation, that's what we got. Trajectory got a little bit softer, but it's still doing a lot of unnecessary motion. And with the soft plus SGD being fed into strict LCP, we get a much smoother trajectory in practice, but it's still doing a lot of unnecessary motions.
For SGD, we consider this 4 scenarios where we first just do SGD without any warm start. And with that, we already can get a pretty smooth trajectory with a very small cost and very little time. And then the next case is SGD warm started with bilinear relaxation, again, because the compute time is very long and we didn't save the first video, so unfortunately we don't have it, but we get a smaller cost here. And the third case is we warm started with soft plus direct collocation. In this case, the cost is reduced once even more, and then the compute time is reduced even more as well. The last case is we consider warm starting with soft plus SGD. This one yields the least cost and the shortest amount of time. And then here in this table, we compare the two main direct methods, LCP and SGD, with different warm starting. The main takeaway is SGD performs better than LCP in all 4 cases, with considerably smaller costs and shorter time.
Another takeaway is that regularized contact models have greatly helped convergence of direct methods, and we've generally been very disappointed with the performance of LCP and also the bilinear relaxation. And this was a surprise, telling us that actually gradient descent with really contact models works surprisingly well.